Today, our lesson has to do with words of the wiser. When a character, probably older and wiser, takes a main character aside and offers serious advice, stop and ask, what's the life lesson and how might it affect the character? In real life, this happens all the time. Many times, our parents will give us wise advice on how to handle difficult situations. Maybe if a classmate is being difficult, your parents might give you the advice of the best thing to do in a difficult situation is to walk away and people will get over it. I know that wise advice I received from my mom was pick my battles. Is this really something I want to get upset about? Is it worth my time? If not, don't pick that battle. So, just like in real life, we receive wise words of advice from older, wiser individuals, we also find that that happens with our characters too. And so, when we stumble upon a moment when the main character is offered wise advice, you have to ask, what's the life lesson? What's the life lesson, and how might it affect the character? So, for example, this is from the text Claudette Colvin. And this is a point in time when her pastor, Reverend Johnson, is speaking to her about her actions refusing to give up her seat on the bus in Montgomery. But worried or not, I felt proud. I had stood up for our rights. I had done something a lot of adults hadn't done. On the ride home from jail, coming over the viaduct, Reverend Johnson said something to me I'll never forget. He was an adult who everyone respected, and his opinion meant a lot to me. Claudette, he said, I'm so proud of you. Everyone prays for freedom. We've all been praying and praying, but you're different. You want your answer the next morning, and I think you just brought the revolution to Montgomery. So the wise advice from Reverend Johnson, he is telling her everybody he knows has been praying for freedom, but you took action, you stepped up, you took the action to fight for your freedom. And so he's telling her, nice job, you took action fighting for your freedom. And so when I look at this quote, I have to think, what's the life lesson and how might it affect the character? And I believe the life lesson is take action to achieve goals. For example, Claudette wanted to demonstrate her frustration with the injustice Black individuals suffered in the South. However, she was hesitant to take action. She was hesitant to take action when it was unfair that they had to trace their foot and take tracing in to find a shoe that would fit their feet. They weren't allowed to try the shoe on, they had to bring in the tracing. They had to put these ridiculous nets on their head when they were trying on hats. She was the last person to go through the eye exam at the eye doctor's office because a white patient wouldn't sit in the chair after she did. So she had to be the last patient. And so she was hesitant to take action in all those situations. But then, after meeting many influential people in her life, specifically Miss Nesbitt being one of those individuals, plus just the numerous situations of injustice that she observed, she realized she must take action to help achieve her goal. So, in my opinion, the life lesson that I can learn from these wise words is take action to achieve goals. And moving forward, because the second part of the question is how might it affect the character? Moving forward, I think Claudette is going to continue to stand up for what she believes, but I don't think it will be easy. I think she will have numerous people supporting her on this journey to equal rights, but others will shame her for disturbing status quo. Right now, she has stood up for what she believed. She's taken action to achieve equal rights. And right now, her family is supporting her. But I'm wondering, as she moves forward, will she be threatened by the KKK? Will her friends support her and surround her? and help her on this journey for equal rights. I'm afraid that some people are going to shame her for disturbing status quo. So what I just did is when I stumbled upon wise advice from an older, wiser character, I stop and ask myself, what's the life lesson and how might it affect the character? So now it's your turn. When an older, wiser character takes a main character aside and offers serious advice, stop and ask, what's the life lesson and how might it affect the character? This is a moment in time when Claudette is in school and Miss Nesbit has been her teacher for a while, and she loves Miss Nesbit. She is taking in everything she can because Miss Nesbit is a very engaging teacher. So I'll read the text. I had Miss Nesbit in both 10th and 11th grades, and during those years I grew in confidence. In those 2 years, she challenged many assumptions I had taken for granted. She said, there's no such thing as good hair. Hair is just hair. Everyone is born with the hair they have, and you just do the best you can with it. Same with skin color. She wanted us to love whatever color we were. And so when I read this, the wise advice that stands out is everyone is born with the hair they have, and you just do the best you can with it. Everyone is born with the hair they have, and you just do the best you can with it. So, what's the life lesson there? What's the life lesson there, and how might it affect the character? So now it's your turn to practice this. Your job is to jot down what you think the life lesson is in this wise advice that Miss Nesbit is giving to Claudette, and then predict how the wise advice will affect Claudette moving forward. Moving forward, how is this wise advice going to affect Claudette? So what you have on your Google Classroom page is a link to a Google form. Words of the Wiser about Claudette Colvin. When a character, probably older and wiser, takes a main character aside and offers serious advice, stop and ask, what's the life lesson and how might it affect the character? You're going to fill in your name, your first and last name, and then fill in your answer. Miss Nesbit states everyone is born with the hair they have and you just do the best you can with it. What is the life lesson Miss Nesbit is sharing with Claudette? So in your opinion, what is the life lesson she's sharing? Followed by answering the questions, providing an answer here. Moving forward in life, predict how this wise advice will impact Claudette. And when you have done that, you can click submit and transition into independent reading.